and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we are going without the mic. I've been having some feedback that the mic is really causing people problems when they're listening to these videos. So hopefully you guys can hear me. I have a new mic picked out and I'm going to be running around trying to see if I can find that in store somewhere so we don't have to wait for that to be mailed out to me. But I am addressing this issue, so do not worry, do not fret. We will get it under control. Hopefully the one that I picked out is going to work pretty well. It has some really great reviews. So we're going to go with that. We're going to see what happens. But we're doing this a cappella today, or however you want to say it. And what are we doing? We are doing the daily reading for Thursday, November 5th, 2020. This is a day that's ruled by the throat chakra and guided by life force. And so the galactic signature of today is the red cosmic dragon. And when we're talking about the red dragon energy, this is the first energy, this is the first signature, the first tribe, right? And so this is all about nurturing, birth, and being. And when we couple this today with the cosmic tone, which is all about presence and being and the full transcendence of linear time, right? Transcendence in general. We're really, I'm feeling, getting a focus today on that aspect of being present, being in the moment, being in the now, just bringing it back to the essence of who we truly are. And there's a lot going on in the world right now. It's very high intensity energy, right? And so this is really a gift. And the way that we can tap into this energy today is to really just consistently bring it back to the center, right? Bring it back to that sense of being, to the truth of who we are, constantly coming back to that truth of who we are today, to that breath, right? To whatever centers us in ourselves, centers us, right? We talk about this is the blue lunar storm year. So we want to be in the eye of the storm where it's calm. So constantly bringing ourselves back to being present, to remembering who we truly are, right? And just sitting in the truth of that energy, right? That stillness, that quiet, that place where when we just be, we're able to sit, we're able to be quiet, we're able to just feel that universal truth moving through us, right? Because we're not distracted by our thoughts. We're not distracted by doing. We are getting rid of all of those distractions and just centering back into ourselves. With this nurturing energy today, I feel this being really something that we want to look into as well. It's just really heavily nurturing ourselves today. And in all the days, right? This is something that we've been learning and we're really being asked to put into practice now, right? Is how we have discovered that we can nurture ourselves. Yes, nurture others, but above all else right now, nurture ourselves. Nurture ourselves, keep bringing it back. This is also an energy of birthing, right? So it's about action, it's about creation. And especially with this cosmic tone, which holds all of the other tones of creation within it, right? There is an ability to integrate. There's an integration energy that's coming through right now, actually. An integration energy. And so that process of being present is going to be really helpful with that. That process of nurturing ourselves is going to be really helpful with that. And that process of creating, but like taking on the responsibility for those creations and knowing that we can create something new at any moment. That's the energy that I was wanting to get to, but it took a second for that to come full circle, to come back around. Is every moment we can create a new creation, right? We can start over in any moment. And so we're going to want to really take advantage of that today. Anytime we feel ourselves being pulled into narratives, being pulled into energies that we don't want to be participating in, right? Anytime we feel our frequency or our attention being pulled somewhere that we don't want it to go, we bring it back to the self, we center into the moment, we center into being, right? Into our being, into our knowing, and then we start over. It says here, every moment is a new creation. And so we can just really take advantage of that energy today, I think is going to be helpful for a lot of people. The affirmation for today is, I endure in order to nurture, transcending being. I seal the input of birth with the cosmic tone of presence. I am guided by the power of life force. And so really nurture that life force today, you guys. We have some somewhat challenging aspects going on today. I want to look because I forgot. Yes, the moon is in Cancer. So it's a very feeling energy. It's also a highly intuitive energy. And we have this intuitive energy heightened by the fact that the sun is trine the moon and Neptune today. So we are going to be able to step into that intuitive space, into that feeling space, right? Very easily today. And so we want to utilize this by leaning heavily on that intuition aspect, by clearing our channel, right? By being fully present. And anytime we notice heavy emotional reactions coming up, pull ourselves into the present moment, right? And view everything from that present moment. And we also have today a T-square going on. It's a loose T-square, but it's between Venus, Mars, and the moon. And so we have Venus opposing Mars with the moon in the middle. And so this is where our feminine and our masculine aspects of ourselves may be feeling a bit at odds today, right? And so how we counter that is by using that moon energy. With that moon in Cancer, it's like that ultimate, that's that nurturing energy again. Using that nurturing energy, right? Especially, like I said, when it comes to ourselves, but also in the way that we interact with other people. And this doesn't mean being overly giving and any of that energy, right? We're working out of that old distorted feminine energy. This is like that higher feminine energy of just holding that space, holding that compassion, but also in situations where we feel challenged and we feel confused and we don't know what to do, really zeroing in on that highly intuitive quality that today has and tapping into that aspect of the moon's energy, right? We really want to be doing that. Today is a day with this moon and heavy moon energy, with this trine to Neptune and everything, where things like it is possible to get caught up in illusion. So we really, that's why we want to center in the present moment, in the truth of our own being, because that is going to help us to navigate. And that's when we get in touch with our true intuition, right? Our intuition comes from our higher self. It comes from source. And so we want to stay in alignment as much as possible today as we are navigating all of the possibly challenging energies that we are currently experiencing at this time. On the plus side, Mercury is moving direct now, so that's wonderful. Mercury is in Libra and will be in Libra. It's at, I believe it's 26 degrees of Libra right now. Yes, at 26 degrees of Libra, it's going to be moving through those final degrees of Libra, and it will be entering Scorpio. I'm not sure exactly when, but I will let you guys know. We're in that trajectory again, but we're still, it's sort of like we're getting that flip of the perspective now. And that is another thing that today is about, is being able to see from and utilize different perspectives as we create every new now moment, right? As we understand that we can, it's like that old saying of like, you can restart your day at any time. That's kind of like a heavy energy that I'm feeling today, right? And we are still concerned with fairness and balance. We have Venus in Libra as well. We also have Mercury squaring off, I do believe, let me double check this. Yes, Mercury squaring directly, like exactly squaring Saturn, and in a loose square to Jupiter and Pluto as well. And so there is a little bit of resistance. There's our mind may be a bit at odds with the growth process that we're going through right now. And it's absolutely okay to be at odds with that, right? Like this is when we are changing, when we are releasing, when we are purging, when we are moving past all of these limiting thoughts, all of these limiting belief systems, all of these limiting systems in the outer world, right? We're watching all of that crumble. It is natural to feel as though we are at odds with that process sometimes. We want to constantly be embracing the change, be embracing the new, right? Be embracing the fact that every moment is a new creation. But sometimes that can be a struggle, and it's okay if you are feeling that way today. I'm being drawn to the Starseed Oracle to start us off today. Clear. So we're going to see what the Starseed Oracle has to say for the energies guidance for today, November 5th. November 5th. It's like this energy where a lot of us, we feel like we're in limbo right now. Like there's so much hanging in the winds that's undecided, and it's really, it can be taking its toll, right? There is an energy of anxiousness possible. So we want to just really, like I said, center into that beingness, center into that presence, be present as much as possible. When our mind gets pulled in all these different future scenarios, all these past scenarios, all of this fear and anxiety is pulling on us, all of these energies, like we said, right? We want to just bring it back to being present, being present, being still, knowing and understanding in this moment, I am okay. Everything is okay. Everything is perfect, really, right? And then we have wait. It's not yet time. Things are being woven. Right? This is the energy that we're in right now. That space that we were talking about where it's like we feel as though we're suspended in time and nothing's really happening. We're caught in that limbo. I think that was the word that I just used, the limbo, right? And so it's okay to be in that space right now. Things are being woven, things are being created, right? I was checking in with my guides about the 1111 portal app. Hopefully once I get that mic figured out, I'll be doing that video later this evening. And it was a lot of that energy of understanding. It was like they told me, like, the word that came to mind was chess, which was really interesting. And it's kind of like right now we are witnessing a game of chess. And so if we don't know what's in the mind of the player, a lot of the moves that they're making can seem to not make very much sense, right? Because we don't have that whole higher picture. We don't know what they're thinking. We don't know what they're planning. But we can trust that every move that is happening right now, every move that's being made, everything that is going on is perfectly orchestrated. And we just have to, our job right now is to trust that and to believe that and to hold the light, right? To hold the light, to hold the vision, and just understand that things are in this process of being created. And you can see this evidence possibly for some of you guys in your own life as well, where it feels like there was momentum maybe, and then that momentum kind of sagged a little bit, or like things aren't coming together quite the way that you thought, or quite in the timing that you had anticipated. And it's saying like there is so much happening in the unseen right now, right? We cannot be fooled by the outside illusion. The outside illusion is getting very loud and very strong right now. And so we're being asked, that's where we center into our presence. We center into our knowing. We center into our intuition, right? And we don't allow fear to drown out our intuition. And we know that things are coming together, and our job right now is just to wait, is just to hold that light, is just to hold that vision. Oh, these cards are so beautiful. Ooh, okay. And then we have Star Keeper, Cosmic Ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded, right? Wait, hold the light, right? Hold the light, hold the vision, stay grounded, stay connected, stay present. Once again, that message coming through very strongly today, called Soul Gifts and Training. It's time to step up. And then we also have You're Not Alone, Isolation, Physical Connection, Community. Okay? So there is a call, right? And we have heard this call, even if we were not consciously aware, and more people are going to be hearing this call. This is a call for people to step into their knowingness, to step into their light, and to begin to utilize, right, the gifts that we have, right? What we have been understanding and learning, to speak that, to act that, to demonstrate our knowing in all aspects of our life today. Like, this is reminding me of another card that comes up a lot that says you've been training lifetimes for this, right? Like, our souls have been given immaculate training leading up to this moment, leading up to where we are right now in this ascension process, right? And we are still receiving training. That's another thing that's coming through right now, is whatever's going on in your life right now, it is training for you. So really pay attention to that. Pay attention to what is developing, right? What skills, what habits are you being called to develop right now? What are you being asked to work beyond? Anything that you are being asked to release right now, anything that's coming up for you is a clue probably to something that you are going to be able to offer humanity later. Once you receive the training that you need, you learn how to heal, you learn how to step into yourself in whatever way, overcome whatever obstacles. That is all training that's making you stronger, that's giving you perspective, that's giving you wisdom and knowledge, and it's no wisdom and knowledge that will be applied. And for those of us who have gone deeply into this process, whatever you have learned, you're being asked to apply now. And even if you don't think that you've learned enough, you're being asked to apply what it is that you have learned. And as you begin to apply that, as you begin to utilize whatever is coming through for you, right? as you begin to step into that and embody that more, you will continue to receive more knowledge, more wisdom. Your soul gifts will come through more strongly as you utilize what you have. You utilize what you have, and then you begin to have more. That magnetically draws in more. That unlocks different doors, right? Different doorways of potential. When we step into our current potential, it opens up new doorways of more potential. So we're all being called, right? Like we've talked about this before. We can't sit back and wait until we feel like we're perfect and we know everything in order to act. What we do know, we are being asked to act on right now, and to just trust in that. We have to trust in that. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to trust in ourselves, right? Regardless of the fears that come up, we move through those fears. And then you're not alone. Those who are feeling very alone right now, this is a message to you that you are not alone. Even if there are not people in your physical reality, you have a huge team in the unseen, right? You have a whole community of people just waiting for you to open up more to the truth of who you are so that you can call them in. Right? This community is coming. And this community, you already have a community in the unseen. A lot of people are finding community online right now because they haven't been led to those people in physical reality yet, but that is coming. Just continue to go through your process. Continue to be who you are. Continue to shine your authentic light and to peel away more and more that is not the truth of who you are, and that will come. Sometimes this period of isolation is necessary in order for us to grow in the way we need to grow. And that's okay too, right? But just know, even when you feel physically isolated, you are never isolated from source. That is something that we are learning and remembering right now, is this separation is an illusion. It is not truth. We are never separate, and not just from source, from anyone, right? If we are finding ourselves separated from people that we love, from people that we've relied on right now, understand that we are never truly separate, right? Our souls, our true energy is never truly separate. We may be physically separated in this dimension, in this reality right now, but we never really are. But sometimes that comfort isn't so comforting, right? It really truly, like we want and we long to have that evidence to us in the 3D. And so I understand that. And they, the angels, they understand that. Source understands that. But this is just a reminder this is an opportunity when we feel that longing to connect with source, to connect higher, right? And to really feel the resonance of that, and the resonance in the company of our own soul, right? Yes. And then on the bottom of the deck where we have, I don't know what I just said. On the bottom of the deck here, we have You Got the Love. Hadarian energy codependency boundaries. This is something that we are working on heavily this month. Boundaries, right? This is that codependency. This came right after You Were Not Alone, okay? And so this is confirmation, right? That sometimes we need to spend that time alone just so that we can understand how strong we are in that energy, so that we can become strong in our own energy, so that we can understand that the relationships we have with others complement us, but they don't define us, right? The only relationship that we truly need, right, is our relationship with ourselves and our relationship with source. And we are building that stronger right now. And people are really beginning to see where it is that they're seeking for love outside themselves and being asked to find that love within. Right? That is the journey. That is what heals codependency, is finding that love within the self. And so we're really being asked to do that, and we're being asked to assert our boundaries. When it comes to people in our lives, we are going to be experiencing people who are pushing our boundaries, right? Who are not respecting those. And so it is our responsibility to hold those boundaries, to hold our energetic sovereignty. That's what we are learning right now, is energetic sovereignty. And because we are learning this, that sometimes requires us to spend some time alone. That requires us to feel alone so that we can then come to the realization that we are never truly alone. All right? And really, when we feel people pushing those boundaries, standing firm in those, knowing that it does not matter, right? We understand that people are extremely traumatized, extremely triggered right now, and they are lashing out. And when we have compassion for people, sometimes we want to allow that because we understand the pain that they're feeling, the fear that they're in. However, we cannot allow that. We still have to stand strong in our boundaries. We can be compassionate and loving without allowing people to inflict their energy onto us, right? We don't have to attach to that. We don't have to welcome that. We don't have to take that in. We can stand firm in our own boundaries, and we can love them from this side of the field, right? And so we're learning that as well right now. And then under that, we have cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. And so this is happening. We are approaching another massive awakening, right? This is evidenced with the 1111 portal, right? That is coming up, the awakening codes. And so a lot of people are experiencing this dark night of the soul. A lot of people are feeling this rock bottom energy, right? And so it's surrendering to that, the alchemy of life, right? Allowing that to be transformed. Sometimes we have to hit bottom first. We have to lose everything. We have to be in that space, right? We never really lose everything. We have to have the illusion that we've lost everything. So then we really come to terms with ourselves. We really find that energetic sovereignty that we were talking about, right? We have to, sometimes the things that are in our lives are not meant for us. And so those are stripped away so that what's meant for us can come through, right? Sometimes, and this, like you can see, it's like she's pulling aside her face, right? This is the mask that she wears, right? This is the avatar, right? The human suit, and exposing the beauty of the universe that exists within her, right? We are taking off the mask. We are exposing and coming to learn the truth of who we are, first and foremost with ourselves. And everything that is not us is being stripped away. And that can feel very vulnerable. We can feel very alone. That can feel very scary. But this is an essential part of that process. Some of us are just feeling as though we're beginning to question, even those of us who considered ourselves to be more awakened, right? To use a pop spirituality term, are starting to realize that there's a deeper awakening and shifting happening within us. And some of us are discouraged by what we see in the world around us, and how sometimes that does not appear to be reflecting the truth that we know. However, look past appearances, right? This is a game of chess. Everything is not what it seems. And just surrender into the flow and the alchemy and the transformation. However you are being transformed right now, however you are feeling and experiencing, possibly, if you are that rock bottom energy, just know that that brings you down to the foundation again, where you can then build up from that foundation and create what it is that truly resonates and reflects the truth of who you are. And if you are in that process of learning the truth of who you are right now, that can be scary as we release everything we thought we knew about who we are. But that opens us up to really learn and to really get in touch with this incredibly beautiful soul, right, that exists within this suit. And so congratulations if you're going through that process. I know it's tough. I offer personal readings. I offer incredibly powerful energy healings. Please reach out to me if you are interested in any of those things. I would love to assist you in that way. My email is in the description box below. All right. And then under that, we have water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. Just what we were talking about, nurturing. Really nurture yourself. Stay grounded. Nurture yourself. Really spend some time in nature if you can. We got blessed with a beautiful week of unseasonably warm weather all of a sudden here in the Northeast. So even here, it's possible to go outside this week and connect to nature and actually be physically comfortable during that process, which is amazing. And just taking care of our bodies, taking care of our temples, right? If we don't care for our body, where does our soul have to live? And so really emphasizing that, emphasizing the staying grounded, the patience, right, with this process. And then we have messenger, Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. Right. That harmony, that balance. I actually want to read this out of the book if I can find it. I'm being called to read that to close this up today. And this book is a little, oh, there it is. It can be slightly difficult to find stuff in, but not nearly as difficult as, like, for instance, a couple of the other decks I have. So we found it right away. We were meant to read it. It says, you're part of the lineage of souls who have dedicated their lifetimes to the upliftment of the planet, to returning time and again to seed the light, the crystalline ones, the ones who are here to plant the sacredness of life back in, to honor both the sacred feminine and masculine, to usher deep reverence back in. Many ascended masters are thought to be connected to the energy of Sirius. Often appearing as a shade of blue, they hold the frequency of pure love and are here to help the masculine and feminine exist in harmony. And this is really interesting when we're talking about the tension today between the masculine and the feminine sides of our essence, which may be shown outwardly in the way that we interact with those essences in the outside world. To help us see that we're all connected and that the masculine and feminine energies exist within us all. You're being called to bring about this balance and harmony between the masculine and feminine, to be a guardian of harmony and balance on Earth. Think of the whales traveling around the globe, sharing love through their healing vibrational song. Their unique notes send balance and harmony to every corner of the planet. A rebalancing of the masculine and feminine is occurring worldwide, and we've been talking about this, right? It's a resurgence of the sacred within us all, a returning of the sacred union within, a rekindling of heaven and earth. You can begin to bring harmony and balance by creating it in your own life. The ripples will flow from there. You can honor and balance the sacred masculine and feminine energies within yourself and others. Yes. So I love that. That's beautiful energy today. We are feeling that challenge. We are feeling that opposition between those energies, but that's an opportunity to really pay attention to what that tug of war is. What is that bringing up for us, right? And how can we bring more balance to that? How can we bring more flow to that? How can we bring in more of the qualities of one to complement the qualities of the other, right? If we feel our masculine side being overly stimulated, how do we bring in that calming receptivity of our feminine side, that compassion and intuition of our feminine side? If we feel our feminine side overriding us and we're feeling extremely overly emotional, we're having difficulty with boundaries, we are just in that kind of energy, how can we bring that strong masculine energy in, right? That security, that confidence, those boundaries, right? How can we bring some logic to help facilitate this emotional process and meld that into our higher intuition, right? And so we can see this with the T-square, Venus, Mars, Moon, melding that into and utilizing, tapping into our higher intuition by combining the logic and the emotion today. And this is something, the logic and emotion, that we've been learning all through 2020. Every Mercury retrograde, which has been in a water sign, often water moving into air and then back into water, right? As Mercury goes direct, which is what's about to happen again. Mercury is in air right now. It will be moving back into the water sign of Scorpio. The logic and the intuition, the masculine and the feminine, this balancing act, this is so key and so important right now. It is a key aspect. This is the true twin flame union, right? We've talked about this, is the inner union of our masculine and feminine energies and moving those into wholeness and balance. So I love that that's coming up for today as well. Yes. And then deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. I love that for us as well, because there is so much healing going on right now. It's sometimes that healing feels painful, right? It doesn't feel like healing. It feels like the opposite. But understand, once again, what we are seeing on the outside, we have to look past that. Yes, we may be experiencing pain, right? As everything that we knew is sort of ripped away from us, as our belief systems are changing and being challenged. However, beyond that, behind that is a deeper level of healing that is emerging. So continue to nourish yourself, continue to get plenty of rest, continue to take care of you, to be present, to restart. Every moment is a new creation. So to constantly restart your day as many times as you need to today, to come back into that sense of presence, that sense of wholeness, that sense of being. I love you all. I appreciate you so much. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to donate to my channel, there are links down below to do so. Comment, let me know how this energy is resonating with you today, how you're doing. I love hearing from you guys. I appreciate you so much. And God willing, I will be back later on today with a mic that is picking up my voice and not blowing out your eardrums. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I will talk to you soon.